Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Sushma Talegaonkar from Jamia Hamdard. Today we are going to discuss another aspect of microemulsion formulation, that is the components of microemulsions under the paper novel drug delivery system. A large number of natural and synthetic components are available to be explored as the components for the formulation of microemulsions, but their toxicity, irritating potential, incompatibility, and lack of mechanism of actions limits their uses. The selected components of microemulsions must be non-toxic, clinically and pharmaceutically acceptable, and useful in appropriate concentration range, which can lead to formation of safe, non-aggressive microemulsion. Hence, generally regarded as safe, that is also known as the GRAS, excipients are employed in the formulation of microemulsions. The emulsifier for the microemulsions, they should be chosen in such a way that an ultra low interfacial tension should be achieved at oil water interface. This low interfacial tension is responsible for the spontaneous emulsification of oil and water or water and oil emulsions. The learning objective of the today's lecture, we will cover first, study of components of microemulsions, selection of the components of microemulsions, and method of preparation of microemulsion. Components of microemulsions should be non-toxic, clinically and pharmaceutically acceptable, required in low concentration, generally regarded as safe excipients, are employed in the formulation of microemulsions. Now let us see what are the components of microemulsions. They are oil, water, surfactants, co-surfactants, and additives. First, we are taking oil. As we all know, we are discussing, we are preparing the emulsions, whether we are preparing a simple emulsions, microemulsions, multiple emulsions, nano emulsions, oil plays an important role in formulation. Oil components solubilizes the large amount of the lipophilic drug, especially in oil in water microemulsions. While in case of water in oil emulsion, water or the aqueous phase play a very important role. Components of microemulsions. First, oil. Oil component solubilizes large amount of lipophilic drug in oil and water microemulsions. Oil component influences curvature by its ability to penetrate, thereby swelling the tail region of the surfactant monolayer in all types of microemulsion systems. Soybean oil, olive oil, and fish oil are common components of commercially available parenteral emulsions. Another important concern regarding the oil phase, which we generally use in microemulsion, that is, modified or hydrolyzed vegetable oils are preferred for oral microemulsions. Fatty acids and their esters are used as oily phase in topical and transdermal microemulsions. Semi-synthetic medium chain derivatives with surfactant-like properties are preferred nowadays. Cyclohexane, mineral oil, toluene, and silicon oil have been investigated as oil components. Now let us see commonly employed oils in microemulsions. Long chain triglyceride oils, corn oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, olive oil. Medium chain triglycerides, they contains glyceryl tricaprylic, caprate Captex 355, Migliol 810, Neobi M5. Mono and diglycerides, they contain glyceryl caprylate, caprate, that is also known as Campmul MCM, glycerol monooleate, that is also known as Campmul GMO. Propylene glycol esters, they contain Campmul PG8, lauroglycol. Fatty acid esters, They comprises of isopropyl myristate and isopropyl palmitate. Saturated fatty acids can also used as a oil phase, and lauric acid, myristic acid, capric acid are available under this category. Unsaturated fatty acids like oleic acid, linolenic acid and linoleic acid can be used as a unsaturated fatty acids. Let us see what is the surfactant plays a role in the formulation of microemulsions. Surfactant molecules consist of polar and nonpolar group. They are classified anionic, cationic, non-ionic and zwitterionic. Surfactant reduce the interfacial tension to a very small value so that it helps in dispersion process. Surfactant form a film around the droplets with the sufficient flexibility that could easily deform to give the correct curvature at the interfacial region. Surfactants are required in relatively higher amounts in the formation of microemulsions than other modern day colloidal system. 20% by the weight or more surfactant concentration we use in microemulsion. Function of surfactant can be seen in this diagram. As we know, the surfactant contains hydrophobic and hydrophilic portion or polar and nonpolar portion. This diagram is showing there are two phases, hydrophilic phase and hydrophobic phase, and when we are adding the surfactant, they arrange themselves in a way that their polar portion always faces hydrophilic phase and hydrophobic portion of the surfactant, that is a chain like structure or thread like structure, will go towards the hydrophobic phase, and they always adsorb at oil and water or hydrophilic and hydrophobic interface, and they reduce the interfacial tension between these two phases. Surfactants are selected on the basis of HLB value, critical packing parameter and safety. Hydrophilic lipophilic balance, that is also known as an HLB value. HLB value is based on the relative contribution of hydrophilic and lipophilic fragments in the surfactant molecules. Surfactants with low HLB 3 to 6 are used to prepare water in oil microemulsions. Surfactants with higher HLB value, that is 8 to 18, are preferred for oil in water microemulsion systems. Critical packing parameter, that is CPP, is the measure of preferred geometry attained by the surfactant and predicts the type of aggregates it is likely to form. It is observed the CPP values of 1 by 3, 1 by 2 and 1 represents globular, cylindrical and planar structure respectively. Now let us see what are the different type of the surfactants they are available for the preparation of water in oil and oil in water microemulsion. This particular table is showing the different type of the surfactant which we can use in preparation of water in oil microemulsion. Caproyl 90, HLB value is 6. In Invitor 780K, the HLB value 3.7. Lauroglycol, HLB value is 5. Plurol Olic CC 497, the HLB value is 6. Span 60, 4.7. Span 80, the 4.3 is the HLB value. Span 85, the HLB value is 1.8. Span 40, the 6.7. And in span 65, the HLB value is 2.1. This table is showing what are the different type of the surfactant which we can use in oil in water microemulsions. Lebrazole, HLB value is 14. Cremophor RH 40 EL, the HLB value varies from 14 to 16 and 12 to 14. Gelucir 44 by 14, 50 by 13, HLB value is 14 to 16 and 13 respectively. PEG 400 monostearate, HLB value is 11.6. Bridge 30, HLB value is 9.7. Span 20, HLB value is 8.6. Twin 20, 80, their HLB value 16.7 and 15. From this table, it is very clear that the surfactant which are having low HLB value, they are very suitable to prepare water in oil microemulsions. While the surfactants which are having a higher HLB value, they are very good for preparation of oil in water microemulsions. And that's why when we are preparing a water in oil microemulsions, we always take a surfactant with a low HLB value and co-surfactant with a higher HLB value. So they can be very well accommodated at the interface, and they can reduce the interfacial tension to the zero, and they will provide the more flexibility to the microemulsions. While in case of when we are preparing a oil in water emulsion, we always prefer a surfactant with a higher HLB value and co-surfactant with low HLB value, so we can get a good combination of the HLB and we can make a very flexible film at the water and oil interface, and more microemulsion area we will get, and a lot of choices for the formulation optimization. Now let us see what is the role of co-surfactant in formulation of microemulsion. Co-surfactant is an integral part of the preparation of microemulsions. Co-surfactants are required to reduce interfacial tension to a very low value, which cannot be achieved by using a single surfactant. Co-surfactants are amphiphilic in the nature and adjust the curvature of the interface by changing the surfactant partitioning characteristics. They increase the fluidity at the interfacial region. They cause the destruction of the liquid crystalline or the gel structure, which prevents the formation of microemulsion. Co-surfactant also reduces the interfacial tension by dilution effect, decreasing rigidity constant, increasing fluidity of the interface, raising the entropy of the system. Medium and short chain length alcohol, ethyl esters of fatty acids, alkanonic acid, propylene glycol, polyethylene glycol, and alkyl amines are used as a co-surfactant frequently in the formulation of microemulsion. It has also been observed when microemulsions we are preparing without co-surfactant, sometimes it may not form or sometimes it is formed, but the fluidity is very less and a complex film or a very rigid film is going to be formed at the interface, and we will get a very narrow microemulsion area, and it would be very difficult for the formulator to select the microemulsion at a particular surfactant concentration. This diagram is showing the action of the co-surfactants, as it is clearly seen in the figure that co-surfactant, they are also adsorbed at the interfaces along with the surfactant, and they will try to reduce the interfacial tension at the water oil interface. Another component of microemulsion is aqueous phase. The aqueous phase may contain hydrophilic drug and preservative, especially in case of water in oil microemulsion. Water is the most commonly used aqueous phase in the formulation of microemulsion. Buffer solutions may be used as an aqueous phase depending on the stability of the active moiety. Certain additives may be used in formulation of microemulsions in order to enhance their shelf life. This table is showing various types of the additives which we can use in formulation of microemulsions. First one is antioxidant. Ascorbic acid and tocopherol, they are commonly used antioxidants. Tonicity modifiers, glycerol, sorbitol, xylitol, mannitol, they are very important, especially when we are preparing the microemulsion for parenteral use or for the ocular use. Third additives are pH adjusting agent or buffering agent, and especially sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid can be used to adjust the pH, because sometimes the active moiety or the drug, they are very unstable at a particular pH. So the pH adjustment is very important in that particular case. Another important additive, stabilizer, oleic acid, cholic acid, deoxycholic acid and their respective salts can be used as a stabilizer. Now the last one, that is a preservatives, which plays a very important role in stability of microemulsion. Methylparaben and propylparaben are mostly used in oral microemulsions, while benzalkonium chloride 0.01% can be used as a preservative especially in microemulsions used in ocular preparations. Selection of components. After discussing with the various types of components, let us see what is the selection criteria for different components. Selection of the oil and aqueous phase is based on determination of solubility of active pharmaceutical ingredient in them. Selection of surfactant is based on its solubilizing capacity with the chosen oily phase for oil in water emulsion or water for water in oil microemulsions. Selection of co-surfactant is based on construction of pseudo-ternary phase diagram with oil surfactant and co-surfactant mixture with water. Let us see how we are going to select oil oblique aqueous phase in oil in water or water in oil emulsion. Let us take first oil in water emulsion. First, place an excessive amount of API, that is a drug or the pharmaceutically active moiety, in the vial containing fixed quantity, that is 1 ml or 2 ml of each oil sample or aqueous phase, depending on what type of the emulsions we are preparing. Vortex for 5 minutes. Then place the vial in isothermal shaker bath at 37 plus minus 1 degree Celsius for 72 hours to reach the equilibrium. Centrifuge it at 3000 rpm for 15 minutes. Sometimes maybe 20 or 25 minutes also required. Collect the supernatant and filter through membrane filter 0.45 micrometer size. Analyze the sample for the drug content by HPLC or by UV spectrophotometry. Selection of surfactant. In order to find appropriate surfactant with good solubilizing capacity, emulsifying ability of various surfactants with the chosen oily phase is determined. The method by which we can determine emulsifying ability is given below. First, prepare 2.5 ml of 15% W by W of surfactant solution in aqueous phase. Add 4 microliter of selected oil followed by vortexing. Continue the addition of oil till single phase clear solution became cloudy. Then surfactant with maximum solubilizing capacity for the oily phase is chosen for microemulsion development. Now we will see what is the criteria for the selection of co-surfactant. For the selection of co-surfactant, pseudo-ternary phase diagram are constructed with oil, surfactant, co-surfactant mixture and water. A pseudo-ternary phase diagram consists of 3 axes where one axis represents oil, another one S-mix, that is the combination of surfactant and co-surfactant at a fixed ratio 1:1, and the third one aqueous phase. Combine different types of co-surfactant with selected surfactant in 1:1 ratio and construct a phase diagram each time. Select the co-surfactant giving the maximum microemulsion region. Ratio of surfactant to co-surfactant is one of the prime factors affecting the phase properties. In order to study the effect of selected surfactant and co-surfactant in various mass ratios on the formation of microemulsion, phase diagrams and further optimization, various weight ratios of oil to S-mix are taken to delineate the boundaries of phases formed precisely in phase diagram and observed visually for transparency and fluidity of microemulsion. For each phase diagram construction, S-mix ratio 1:0, 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 2:1, 3:1, 4:1, oil to S-mix ratio of 1:9, 1:8, 1:4, 1:2 and 1:1, 4:6 are used. This table is showing what are the different type of the components used in various types of delivery system, and their selection criteria is based on for what route we are preparing the micro emulsions. First, for example, transdermal drug delivery system, oils generally we use Lebrafil M1944 CS, oleic acid, isopropyl myristate. While the surfactants which we can use for the transdermal drug delivery, Lebrazole, Cremophor EL, Lebrazole, Twin 85 and Twin 20. And co-surfactant in microemulsion used for transdermal delivery are ethanol, span 80, isopropyl alcohol, polyethylene glycol 400. If we are preparing microemulsion for parenteral delivery, the mostly oil, soybean oil, ethyl oleate, Myglyol H12, Capmol MCM are suitable, while the surfactants Cremophor EL, phospholipids, lecithin, Twin 80 and Solutol HS15 are considered good for parenteral delivery of microemulsions. Co-surfactant like ethanol, polyethylene glycol 400 and N-butanol can be used as a co-surfactant in preparation of microemulsion for parenteral delivery. For oral delivery of microemulsions, the oil phase can be Lebrafec, triacetin, oleic acid, Lebrafil. Surfactant for oral delivery are lecithin, Twin 80, Lebrazole, Cremophor EL, while the co-surfactants which we can use for oral delivery are span 20, polyethylene glycol 400 and propylene glycol. For ocular delivery oils, we can use isopropyl palmitate, ethyl oleate, castor oil, isopropyl myristate. While the surfactants, they are Twin 80, span 20, Solutol HS15, Twin 80 and Lebrazole. The co-surfactant for ocular delivery can be span 80, alcohol, glycerol, lipoid, E80 and propylene glycol. Microemulsion can be used for nasal delivery, and for this delivery the oils they can be used as a lauroglycol, Lebrafil, Caproil 90, isopropyl palmitate and ethyl laurate. While the surfactant Lebrazole, Solutol HS15 can be used. Co-surfactant in nasal delivery of microemulsion are ethanol, transcutol P and plurol oleic can be used. For vaginal delivery of microemulsions, the oil which can be used, they are Caproil 90, linseed oil and oleic acid, while the surfactants Cremophor EL and Twin 80 can be used. Carbapol 940 and chlorocresol can be used as a co-surfactant in preparation of microemulsion for vaginal delivery. Preparation of microemulsions. Microemulsions are prepared spontaneously. No or very little energy input is required for their formation. Formation is based on utilization of intrinsic physiological properties and stored energy of the system. They may be prepared by changing parameters such as temperature or composition of system. Preparation of microemulsions. There are two methods for the preparation of microemulsion. First one is phase titration method and another one is phase inversion method. Let us take first phase titration method. Microemulsions are prepared by the spontaneous emulsification method using phase titration method with the help of phase diagram. A phase diagram is constructed in order to study the complex series of interactions which might occur in mixing different components. A thorough understanding of phase equilibrium and demarcation of phase boundaries is required to prepare microemulsion systems. As four-component system, phase diagram is time-consuming and difficult to interpret. Pseudo-ternary phase diagram is constructed to find microemulsion region. The region can be interpreted as oil-rich or water-rich, explaining the type of microemulsion being formed. Careful observations should be made in order to exclude metastable systems. This diagram is showing various phases of microemulsions during their preparation by phase titration method. Pseudo-ternary phase diagram is constructed to find microemulsion region. Each corner of the diagram represents 100% of the particular component. The curve in the triangle separates microemulsion from macroemulsion region. When the concentration of the oil is more, surfactant forms reverse micelles. Addition of water to this system result in formation of water in oil microemulsion. On further addition of water, a liquid crystalline region may be formed, sandwiching water between surfactant double layers. Diluting with water still further leads to breakdown of lamellar structure and oil in water microemulsions would be formed. Phase titration method. Now let us see what are the different steps involved in constructing the phase diagram. First, aqueous titration method is used to prepare oil in water microemulsion. Take oil and surfactant mixture in a vial, vortex for 5 minutes. Add water using micropipette until addition of one more drop produces turbidity. Observe visually for phase clarity and flowability. Note the volume of water consumed and construct phase diagrams using Triplot V14 software. Oil titration method is used to prepare water in oil microemulsions where oil is added dropwise to the mixture of S-mix and water till cloudy. Amount of oil consumed is noted and phase diagrams are constructed. The preparation of microemulsion, if we will see, there are two methods for the preparation of microemulsion. First is the phase titration method and another one is phase inversion method. In phase inversion method, the emulsification occurs due to chemical energy produced as a result of phase transition. Phase transition can be brought about by first, change in temperature keeping composition constant or change in composition at a constant temperature. Now, phase separation, phase inversion method, we will see how this temperature affect the phase inversion based on the changes in the solubility of non-ionic surfactant with the temperature. A mixture of oil, water and polyoxyethylene type surfactant at room temperature having a positive curvature is taken and temperature is increased. Dehydration of polymer chain occurs, making the polyoxyethylated surfactant lipophilic, which in turn gets solubilized in oil. Or in another word, we can say when we are increasing the temperature, the water content or the hydrophilic portion of the surfactant is decreasing and the surfactant is becoming more hydrophobic. When it is becoming more hydrophobic, it will convert oil in water emulsion to water in oil emulsion. Phase inversion occurs at oil in water emulsion changes to water in oil emulsion having a negative curvature. Emulsions formed at intermediate temperature are not stable as the curvature approaches zero. An increase or decrease in intermediate temperature, also known as an HLB temperature, by 25 to 30 degrees centigrade rapidly may prevent coalescence and result in the formation of stable microemulsions. So student, let us see what we have concluded from the today's lecture. Selection of the component is a very crucial parameter in formulating microemulsions. Especially microemulsions they are containing a high concentration of the surfactant. So the selection of the surfactant is a very crucial step, because sometimes they cause irritation also, sometimes they cause the incompatibility also. So for the selection of the surfactant, what the criteria we should apply, that is, we should take a minimum concentration of the surfactant and we try to miscible the water and the oil phase at the minimum concentration of the surfactant. And second thing is, which is very very important during the formulation of microemulsion, that is the solubility of the active constituent. We should try to use a minimum quantity of the internal phase, whether it is the oil or the water, and we try to dissolve the more and more amount of the drug in the internal aqueous phase. So the total volume of the formulation will be less and we can easily dispense them into a particular carrier like a soft gelatin capsule or the hard gelatin capsule. Along with the surfactant, there are the certain other parameters which we should take into the consideration during the formulation of microemulsion, like the chain length of the surfactant, what is the chain length of the oil, whether it is a long chain, medium chain, short chain, whether it is from the natural source or the synthetic source, what is the molar volume of the oil, and what is the HLB value of the surfactant, what is the critical packing parameter. We should try to calculate the critical packing parameter, and we should see how this packing arrangement is going to be changed by changing the surfactant concentration.